I snap on the track like the fingers of Thanos. Como también nosotros perdonamos. A los que nos ofenden. It's all love, all Wimbledon with the pendant. All I have in this world is my flag and my sword. I'm on the battlefield with the flag of my Lord. My shahada is my cantata. My heart chakra light up when I make size that fire.
Hi guys, I'm Benji.
I'm Gabriel.
And this is the first episode of our Founder Series. In this video, we just want to introduce ourselves to you guys and just to show you guys what we're going to be doing within the next 60 days. So we're two 18-year-olds in New York City and we're building a tech startup here. We're just bootstrapping the entire thing. We want to launch a self-improvement app within the next 60 days. I'm from NYU, and so Gabriel was just actually doing his startup back then, a dating app called Glance, right?
So I was building, I was in a time period where I was trying to find the next thing to work on, basically. Yeah. And I sent one of the projects to Benji to get his feedback. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of started talking, and we were like, yeah, we should build something together. Like, we kind of have skills that complement each other.
Yeah.
So I have more like the technical side of it. Yeah. You have a lot more of like the, I guess, business experience.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a great partnership. So we decided to build this product. We think there's a need for it, especially because what we see on social media, like the recent trends in the past years. So the purpose of this series is to just, first of all, document our journey so it's something we can look back at in the future, but also we're inspired and love to watch other people's like founder content. So we thought, why not create our own, especially because we think we're doing cool stuff.
I think we also have a very good track record in terms of our businesses. Like me personally, I did a lot of hackathons, I did policy research. You know, my sort of interest lies within finance, business, and politics.
Most of my experience is more on the technical side, but I've always pursued entrepreneurship since I was young. Like, I've always been building stuff with a purpose to make money and gain some sort of independence through it.
Yeah.
So I built a lot of projects. I did the latest one, which is something we talked about.
Yeah.
Actually, before me for the first time was CareerWiz, which is basically an AI career assistant. And yeah, I think I bring more like the technical skills, but also I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship. Yeah. And I'm slowly learning a lot more about the business aspect of it. And especially, I think working on CareerWiz gave me a lot of experience in terms of marketing and distribution. And it kind of made me realize how distribution really is everything. Yeah. Like, you can have all the skills you want to build a perfect product, but if you don't know how to get it to your audience and the right audience, it's kind of useless.
For sure.
Yeah.
What? We're just so far, yeah.
Back, nobody thought I was leaving. Caught with the grieving, was taught to misleading when all I've been caught in the seasons. But I changed for the better and I know that. And things don't look better for a Kodak, but some things look special in a throwback. Out in the cold and I'm changed, I hold that. Just there, beauty and bold, I stare, cause you froze in the cold night air as the show lights glare. You can hold mine bare cause the cameos grow so rare. I suppose I care about you more than anyone else.
In terms of coding, for the first version of the app, we're only building it for iOS, but obviously we're planning on bringing it to Android. So at first, for the iOS version, we're using Swift, which is like the standard language for iOS apps. And then we're just going to basically try and translate it to Android once we've got a fully functioning version. So we're using Xcode by Apple, and we're using a simulator that allows us to run the app on a computer. So basically, imagine like an iPhone running on your computer, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. The really nice thing about coding nowadays is that AI makes the process a lot quicker. So I personally think that if you have the technical skills and you know how to use AI, which is honestly not that hard, you can literally build something that would previously take you 6 months and maybe in a month. Like, AI has really like skyrocketed the speed at which you can ship products, which is amazing for developers. Basically like a fake iPhone on your computer, and you can install the app that you just programmed, and you can see a preview of all of your features. So for example, one of the features that we're going to have is the ability to copy celebrities, entrepreneurs, people you admire, copy their routine. And there's a few bugs in the app right now, but the idea is that you'll be able to see their skill set and how it compares to yours, basically their daily habits and things like that, and copy it to their routine so that you can pick up these great habits and become a more disciplined individual yourself. And the really nice thing about this is that, first of all, it's a feature that Apple makes it really easy to test on virtual devices. And also, you're able to test things like widgets. So something we want to have in our app are widgets that allow you to keep track of your score every day. So for example, if you have a really long to-do list, it would be really nice if you could look at it without having to unlock your phone and open the app every time. So we want to have widgets that'll give you that. So widgets are basically help you keep track of your routine. And this is really easy to test since you have a virtual iPhone.
This is like the sky lounge of our apartment, and yeah, it looks like this. Usually we don't really have much people here, so we kind of just tend to treat this as our office, or just like just in our rooms in general. Yeah, so for example, if you make 10K, right? First of all, App Store takes 30% of that already, so you're actually making 7K. Our cost mainly includes LLC formation fees, our web hosts, our marketing, and just a lot of our storage as well for our users. We haven't even done any marketing yet, and our projected cost is already $700. And $500 comes from forming the LLC. But also you have to think about having a business means you have to hire like an accountant. Also, when you're publishing apps, you have private policy and terms and conditions, right? So these are basically to ensure that the data that you collect from the users are legal, and you are gonna need a lawyer for that. And I actually consulted with a few law firms here in New York City for them to draft like all these stuff for us. It's gonna cost 2.5K, bro. And I think that's a bit too much. And 1 hour consultation session costs around $400 to $500 in New York City. So when people say they make 10K in revenue, the money they actually put into your pocket is actually a lot less than that. Also, for a company where we have 2 co-founders, we're splitting the profit in half as well. If you were to start a business, you have to think about the cost, the lawyer fees, but just everything that comes with it. So don't believe it when some online course guru tell you that they make X amount of money in revenue. You really have to look into what's the actual profit of those people. But yeah, having a balance sheet that keeps tracks of everything really makes it a lot easier for you to keep track of your expenses and just manage finances for your company as a whole.
All right, so in terms of marketing, we have a few strategies we're going to implement. We're going to try out influencer marketing, but it's not going to be our main thing. But we're actually going to go after theme pages the most, since there's a lot of motivational content being produced every day on social media. So our goal is to target those pages and get them to push our content. So that's why we're implementing a lot of features in our app that have viral potential. So features that if someone were to take a screen recording of or take a picture of could be turned into viral content, whether it is by implementing names of celebrities, things like that, as well as things that are just purely just funny, or out of the ordinary, that make our app unique. So I think that's something one should always keep in mind when building apps, especially if it's a consumer app, direct to consumer app. You have to keep in mind, how can you make this app, does this app have viral potential? Basically, can these features, if you were to show these features to someone, would they be shocked? Would it be something that sticks with them, that they always remember? So for example, for one of the old projects, like I mentioned, Career was, most of the marketing I did was just organic via TikTok, which is really time consuming. And if I were to do it again, I would honestly outsource all that time that I spent doing it, because I think as the founders, you should be spending most of your time on making the product better. Manual tasks that are, one has to repeat over and over again, that might not require as much brain power, even though that sounds a little bit bad. You should try to outsource, because most of your time should be spent on making the product better and making sure your company can grow. You should really value your time as a founder, right? So you have to make sure you're putting it towards the right thing, which is why for this project we're going to be outsourcing all of the organic social media marketing. So content production on TikTok, Instagram, and in future videos we'll also show you what we're thinking of in terms of the type of content that we're going to produce and the plan we have to make this app go viral over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for our first episode. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and make sure to tune in
And subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Too short.